Right, got it.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this time that we can get together and share with each other and learn from each other and just encourage one another. I just thank you for all the people that are on this call and the ones that couldn't be on it. Just, you know what everyone needs in their life right now and what's going on. And we just pray that you wrap your arms around each one that needs that and that they feel your love and care for them. I especially want to lift up the families in Nashville who are dealing with the tragedy that happened there today. And just pray that you will hold them tight and help them to get through this situation, God. And help us to learn some good things tonight and just have a fun time. And it's in your son's Jesus' name that I pray. Amen.
Thank you for praying about that. I know that we have a lot of people that are in that general area and going to be affected by that. And then every single teacher and every single parent and every single grandma out there is stressing about it. I know.
Yeah.
So anyway, we need to be praying about that. Is Josette hopped on yet? Okay. So I'm going to tell y'all something super cool that is going to make you so glad that you take Lexus. All right. Okay. So Lori Harrison, some of you guys that are OGs that have been around with me a long time know who that is. She is like queen of natural health. When ProBio 5 came out, she studied it and she sold so much that like if it was like it is now, she would have signed, I mean, she would have gone diamond probably off of ProBio 5 sales. Like she is obsessed with ProBio 5 sales. She is super knowledgeable. She knows more than Vicky. Don't tell Vicky I said that. Oops, I'm recording. But she's the real deal. Okay. So she posted on the Diamond page this weekend and said, all right, guys, we need to have a conversation about how we're going to support people in a primarily post-vaccinated world. Because there are a lot of, there's a lot of people trying to figure out what effect COVID and the vaccines have had on people and their health. Okay. Some good things, some bad things coming from whatever. Anyway, I'm not getting into any of that. But what I'll tell you is she shared a TikTok video that has since been removed, but she had recorded it. And it was this doctor who had gotten people to volunteer to let her test their gut microbiome before and after the vaccine. And these were people, I think, that were happy to get the vaccine. It wasn't even like people that were freaking out, but she just wanted to see was there a change. And what she found is that people had a huge decrease in the probiotic strain, the good bacteria, bifidobacterium. So bifidobacterium is responsible for a lot of things, but one of the main things it's responsible for is supporting your immune system. And what this doctor found is that in both patients with COVID and who had had the vaccine, now she didn't test people who'd had COVID. She just tested people before and after the vaccine, okay? But some other studies have also shown that people with low levels of bifidobacterium were more susceptible to COVID. So guess what has bifidobacterium in it? ProBio 5. And so everybody out there, whether they had COVID, whether they had the vaccine, if they had both of those, their bifidobacterium is probably not above par. Like the stuff she looked at, it went from like trillions or something along those lines, like millions of bifidobacterium to 0 in some of these people. So this explains probably why the rats that got the vaccines died of something else, because it was not great for the immune system. So bottom line is, however you feel about all the vaccines, I don't care. Science shows that having COVID or having the vaccine, which is pretty much almost 100% of the world at this point, their bifidobacterium is probably low. So ProBio 5. And then the other thing, I barely remembered this, but when Slim Microbiome came out, they talked about it being a fertilizer for your gut bacteria, as in like Miracle Grow for your gut bacteria. One of the gut bacteria that it exponentially increased was bifidobacterium. So between those two, if you've got people struggling from post-COVID or post-vaccine or whatever issues, ProBio 5 and Slim Microbiome could be really good for them. You got to get the bifidobacterium in the gut before it can be exponentially grown, if that makes sense. Slim Microbiome doesn't have bifidobacterium as an ingredient. What it does is it takes the existing bifidobacterium and exponentially multiplies it, okay? So that's the really unscientific explanation of this TikTok video that you can't watch anyway. The other thing that she found was when they learned this, they went to like GNC or some store like that, bought a whole bunch of different supplements that said they contained bifidobacterium. 3 out of like 20 actually even did. So again, we can feel very confident recommending Plexus because our products have what they say in them. A lot of those things out there don't, which is just really sad. Her kefir that she was taking didn't have it either. Like, it's not just in everything, but it's in ProBio 5, and our Slim Microbiome also causes it to exponentiify, which is super exciting. Okay, I'm going to type that word out here in the chat for you guys. Basically, Josette, what you missed was if people have had COVID or the vaccine, they need bifidobacterium, and that's in ProBio 5. Okay, I'm going to write this. Bifidobacterium. I think it's actually Bifidobacterium longum. I don't know that last word. I might have spelled wrong. It might have an H, but I think I'm pretty close on Bifidobacterium. Okay, all right. So I'm just really excited about that because we are the OG gut health company, and we do have the most amazing probiotic on the planet. Like, it is legit the most amazing probiotic. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to turn it over to my friend Josette, who has kind of been taking a break from the business. She's had some major life issues. Like, we don't even have time on this call to go through all of her life issues that she has had, but it's a lot. And she was like, I want an iPad. I'm getting back into this. And she had kind of told me she wanted to get back in before she heard about the iPad. But then she heard about the iPad and she was like, I need this. And so she's messaging me, telling me she's trying, working with people. And I'm just like, thinking, okay, you hadn't been doing this in a while. It's going to be a little hard. Well, then she went and signed 5 people. And she's like, I didn't do anything special. And I said, well, that's what we need to hear. If you're just doing the things, then just tell us what things you did and give us hope and excitement that anything is possible if you just keep trying. So Josette, tell us what you did. Even if it doesn't sound
Okay.
very exciting.
Well, I really didn't do anything. What I did,
something. Unless you bribed people or coerced them with force, like, then I don't want to hear about that. Okay.
no, but I did the things that, well, Aubrey, that you've been telling me to do for what, a year and a half now? I don't even know
Okay,
how long
what
I've
are
been
some
in
of
this.
those things?
One was to post. I had just stopped posting completely about everything, even my life.
Yeah.
The other thing
And you
was
did say, I'm posting and nobody's saying anything. I'm posting and it's not working. I'm like, yes, keep posting.
yeah. Well, and that was another thing, is that little thing called doubt has been in my
Yeah.
mind probably January 1st. And it's just not about Plexus. It's about a whole lot of things. And then when you get really, really sick, it's really kind of hard to sell Plexus because you're sick. And if you're sick with gut issues and you've been on Plexus for a year, it's like, okay, what am I doing wrong? But it's
However,
doubt.
it was your gallbladder, right?
Yeah, it had really, honestly, it had nothing to do with plexus or plexus not doing what, actually, as a matter of fact, my doctor said that I probably it would have been worse than what it was, if you can believe that, if I hadn't been on plexus for a while. So plexus really did in the long run help me. But that little thing called doubt is seriously, I don't know, strong. So I started posting little things, just, I don't know, random little things. And then I would throw in a plexus post here and there. And I kept at it. I had to really work in my brain to post, because, you know, I work 40 hours a week. I have a full-time job. And so when I get home at 5, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do anything, much less post. And so I started trying to plan in my post in the mornings. And then if I didn't get it posted right away before I got to work, I did it at lunch. And so it was just making up my mind to post. So I just kind of started posting, and then I had some people that, like, 1 out of the 5 I've been working on for over 2 weeks, and I mean working. And so I also, I don't want to bug people. I don't want them to think I'm harassing them, all that stuff, you know? And I've decided that until they say, stop talking to me, do not post me, unfriend me, I hate you, I'm gonna ask them again. And I mean, Aubrey, I texted Aubrey, it's like, okay, this is what I said the last time, tell me something else to say. It was just the point of, like, the one lady, I asked her probably 10 different ways, because they kind of ghost you or they don't answer. And most of my people answer, and that was the last thing Aubrey said. You normally answer, and since you didn't, you know, whatever. So I just
It's
kept,
not like you to not answer. So are you just?
yeah, there you go.
Have you been busy, or are you just not interested? It's okay. Just tell me.
I utilize the triplex video all the time, because if you can get someone to watch that video, it's a major eye opener, like wham. And I try to figure out what, like, besides weight loss, what they want. And I don't do it all the time. Don't think I do, because I forget sometimes, but I kind of try to zone into what they really want to get from plexus. And I just talk. I just talk. And so yesterday, I was really lucky yesterday. Okay, y'all, because I got the one lady finally, she said yes. Then I have this lady that I've known for a long time, but we weren't really friends. And so she's been doing some shirts for Dutton for me. And so I was like, hey, you know, I have this stuff. Will you watch my video? And she said yes. And she came back and she was like, I'm interested, but I really want to wait a couple of days. Hint, I waited. Actually, I gave her 2 days. I did give her 2 days, and I texted her back. And I was actually texting Aubrey when she texted me and said, you know, I think I'm gonna wait. And so I was like, oh, because, you know, I was really working. And I didn't even get 2 words out, because I was texting her back, why you want to wait? I mean, you want to wait to feel better? Or, you know, I was going to tell her something. And she came back and said, you know, I think I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to tell y'all, I went, yes. Because I was like, So how I got the 5 also was, when she said yes, I said, okay, is there, you know, a family or friend that you think that would love to do this with you? Because it's so much easier to do it with someone besides me. And she got her daughter to do it. I just found a new hair lady because I moved, and I texted her. I had posted something, and she was like, because I go tomorrow to get my hair done, and she's like, on Tuesday, I want to know more about this. Well, I'm not waiting until Tuesday. I have a deadline here, people, and I'm famous for waiting until Magic Week. It's just who I am. And so I sent her the video, and she came back, she's asking questions, and she says, you know, I think I'm going to try it. I said, okay, do you have a family or friend or someone, you know, I guess her boyfriend, I don't think they're not married. So I guess that's her boyfriend. She was like, well, maybe my sweetie will do it. I got both of them yesterday. And that one was just like one of those things that you're working, and then all of a sudden it just happens. And so what I really want to stress is that listen to Aubrey, even though I don't, and post and keep going back to them.
Hey, you had a
And
messenger chat too, right? Did any of
I
those
did
people actually come to your chat?
only two of the five went
So
to the
that's
chat.
good though. See,
No, it was. And I have another one that's like on the fence, but I think she's
well,
one
you
of those
need one
people.
more, so that's good.
Well, she's gonna wait. She's one of those people that are like, oh, I'm gonna wait. I think she's gonna wait for July or something, because I don't know what the hell she's waiting on, because why you want to wait to feel better? I don't know. But I have to watch what I say, because I really want them to join.
Yeah.
And so I just did the things that you've told me to do all along, and just
love
try
it.
to fight that doubt.
And I love that you
That was-
said that you had to follow up with the one lady like 10 times, because what we're seeing in the industry, a lot of the professionals are saying that consumer confidence is at an all-time low, which means that it's going to take even more follow-ups before somebody is ready to make a purchase decision, and that you have to give them more reasons, and I love too that you talked about figuring out why they want it, because people want to lose weight and they'll go for that. I feel like weight loss is what gets people interested, but when you start talking about how they're going to feel different, that's what really matters to them. And so if you combine the two, I think that's important. So I think you did a lot of great things, and you still got to do one more great thing, because we're not going to stop at 5 when 6 means a free iPad. So we're gonna figure that out. But anyway.
I think that the weight loss thing is huge. I mean, that's really, well, it was one of the reasons why I joined, but I think the energy, hydrate is by far my favorite. And I've got lots of favorites in Plexus, and I change, but hydrate is, let me tell y'all what I did a couple of weeks ago. I was having a meeting at work on work time, and the HR lady came in and she was just dead exhausted. I mean, she was like, I'm gonna have this meeting with y'all and then I'm going home. And I said, what's wrong? She's like, I'm just exhausted. And I said, okay, hold on, I'll be right back. And I got up out of our meeting with my boss, the HR lady, and the 2 ladies I work with, made her a hydrate and gave it to her and said, look, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but this is going to change your life right here. And she drank it, and she was actually going to go home that right after our meeting. She ended up staying like 3 or 4 hours longer at work because it really made that big of a difference. And I like showing them things that make a difference right away. Hydrate is one of those things, and Ease cream is another one. If somebody is hurting, and I have Ease cream everywhere. I have it in my purse, I have it in my bathroom, I have it at work, I have it everywhere. And it's just like, I had the maintenance guy come in and said, oh, I slept on my finger wrong or something and it hurts. And I said, oh, here, try this. He bought the bottle I had. I'm not getting to sign up, but he bought the bottle I had right then and there. I mean, those kinds of things right there is just, and I tell people all the time, look, I am not doing this for the money. The money's great. And I'm going to get that pink iPad, by the way. But it's the way it's changed. When I started this company, I was in a wheelchair. I couldn't walk more than 10 steps. Nothing. And so my mood, it has changed so many different things for me that I want to share that with everybody. And sometimes they think I'm just trying to sell a product, and I'm not. I'm just really passionate about these products because they make a difference. And I just keep on and on and on until they finally just sign up. So I'll shut up, probably. I don't know, but that's just what I do.
Trying to get myself unmuted. I love it. Okay, awesome. We got a couple minutes left. Does anybody else have any tips for something that has helped them to get somebody off the fence this week or in the past. That
I don't
is
have a
good
tip,
ideas.
but
Yeah, go for it.
I have something I did today that Aubrey already knows about that I was excited about sharing for dripping, and I just stumbled across it.
Hold on.
If
Tell
you're
people what you mean by dripping, because not everybody may know that word.
oh, um, building relationships with people before talking to them about plexus. So we call it dripping because I guess the idea of like raindrops. I don't know. Getting them a little bit damp before you jump in with the full
Because
ask.
Vicky
But
called it that. I mean, I don't know, like just drip, drip.
I don't know.
Instead
I
of
guess when
a
you drip, they
deluge,
can.
the drip.
I guess if you're planting seeds and you're dripping and you're going to harvest it with whatever, sure. So it's basically whenever, you don't want to send a full cold message to somebody like, hey, I haven't talked to you since high school, but would you like to try some of my products? So dripping is just basically warming them up before talking to them because you really are genuine, but also, you don't want to come across as spammy. Anyway, today I was going through some, and I've done this before, but I didn't really think about it. I was going through a box. It's right next to me of photos from like my whole life. I feel like that I came across because we're like getting rid of stuff and all that. And I came across like all these old pictures of old friends and like parts of my life, and I kept taking pictures of it. And I got on Messenger, and people that I haven't talked to in years, I sent a picture of me and them together, or like a picture I had of them, creepily, I guess, I don't know. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. This is so random. But I was going through old stuff, and 2 or 3 of them were already on my drip list for this week of my 25. And I didn't really know how to approach them because they hadn't been posting on posting on social media. So if you're creating a drip list, you want to make sure that you're not, going to comment on their stuff from a month ago because it's a little creepy. So I sent them this. So now I'm in conversation with all these people that I haven't talked to in forever and creating new relationship type things just from old pictures. Or you can go, I've done this before just in my photo albums, like in memories, or if you go in your photo albums to go and like, I don't know, you're going to like look for some old stuff or whatever. You can go and find some old memories if you have some with somebody and send it to them as like a new way to approach. So I just did that today on a whim. It wasn't something I meant to do, but I was like, oh, this is so fun to talk to people. And now I'm going to be able to talk to them about plexus next week or the week after. So I just wanted to share that. That's all I have to say. That's not really helpful for the iPad right this second, but
No, but
future.
that's a good tip while you're thinking about it. Loretta's signing somebody tomorrow, I think. Do you have a tip for how you got that one?
Yeah, I had reached out to him in December, and he's another minister, and so I reached out to him in December and sent him information on Reset, and I think it's just been me consistently posting, and of course the before and after that I post today, still shocking, but anyways, I think that me just consistently posting.
That was your before and after, right?
Yes, that was
And
my
did he
before and after.
comment on that one or?
No, he
Oh, so he's
literally,
stalking but not commenting. Yeah,
yes,
that's what
he
people
sent
do.
me a message. He sent me a message and said, so what happens after reset? Like, that's all he said. So is there anything you do after reset, or is it just reset? So yeah, and then there are just other people, one person I followed up with who I talked to like back in December and just said, hey, don't know if you had a chance to see my message or, yet. And she said, oh my goodness, this, and this has happened. And so mom and I are both interested. And so I've got in the messenger chat tomorrow night, I've got 3 people in that chat. One's just a mom that was at our homeschool group. She was talking about how tired she was. And so she and I took her a sample today of Slim and Active and, just told her, give it a try. And I said, hey, do you want me to add you to this chat that we do? And it might have some information that I might have missed telling you. And she goes, sure, put me in it. So
Can you see if I'm still okay? Can you share that message maybe in our huddle chat? Because sometimes people make sure it's the better together one and not the leaders. Because sometimes people just like to see a message. Like I don't usually like completely copy paste somebody's message, but a lot of times it just sparks something. Because, you know, I'm a Texan. I'm kind of, I'm very casual. So I'll use words like y'all and things like that. But so that might not be what you would say. I mean, Meredith always says, hey, sweet friend. I don't say, hey, sweet friend. Like, I don't think that's a problem, but I just don't say, hey, sweet friend. So that would be weird for me to say that. But for Meredith, it's perfect. But you can take it and kind of make it your own if you have a place to start. Does
Yep.
anybody
Yeah,
else
I'll
have
totally
a
do that.
tip for us? My voice is so much better than it was, but we're still not back to normal.
I want to share
I can say
something.
something.
Oh,
Well,
Okay.
when
go ahead, Casey.
you can go, Matt.
Casey, then
Okay.
Marianne.
Yes.
Huh?
Marianne, then
Oh.
Casey. It doesn't matter. You
Okay.
go first.
Keep talking because you never know who's listening. My youngest daughter, who's the teacher, she has always been, Mom, you're just selling stuff. You're just selling stuff. Well, one of her teachers, her partner teacher, was complaining about bloating and she needed to go have a colonoscopy and all this other stuff. And Kelly goes, my daughter, she goes, you know, my mom sells this stuff. And she was telling me about it. She says, this is what you need. And Kelly goes tonight, she goes, you know, Mom, I've been listening when you're talking. You know your stuff. And I told her if she wanted help that she needed to talk to you. I said, well, give her my number. But so keep talking because you never know who's listening. The ones who are probably the most skeptical, they're really listening.
Love it. Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes those people end up being the most committed once they finally like decide to commit. You just never know. Like, I would say that, well, out of the Myers-Briggs, there's 16 personalities. Mine is literally referred to as the empath. Like, I can understand people. I still get it wrong all the time with Plexus. Like, who's going to be interested at this time and who's not? Like, I just don't even try to guess anymore because just wrong. I just ask and then let them say, you know, I just keep talking. All right, Casey, what's your tip?
My tip has been, continually posting your stories because I've gotten kind of 3 new potentials that messaged me out the blue or they responded to my story. So definitely every day posting something in your stories like a testimony or what you like about Plexus. I posted my before and afters a few weeks ago, and you can always see who's constantly viewing your stories. And what I like to do is the ones that I'm always seeing their name, I kind of jot their name down as people to kind of drip on and eventually maybe reach out to, because they're interested if they're continuously following your stories, and it must mean that they're intrigued and always comment on, or like other people's stories too, because I find the more that I've been doing that, I think they're popping up in my story archive. So I've just been kind of paying attention to my more stories lately, and and people that I don't really see their Facebook post, they're messaging me for my story. So clearly, I guess it's working. So that's my only other
There's
tip.
a different crowd of people that watch stories than watch your posts. Like, there's legit
Yeah.
people that they just really like to do stories. So,
Yeah.
and I think y'all know this, but just in case you don't know this, I'm gonna show y'all a tip. Let me close that. Okay. I got my mother-in-law's flight info here that I was sending her. But let me show y'all. Okay, if I go to Facebook, let's say I'm gonna go to Casey. I know Casey has stories. All right, look at, oh my goodness, I don't want all these. Sorry. Oh, Finley, you don't need any more goldfish. Look how Casey's, look how Casey's bubble right there is blue. You see how it's bright blue? That means that Casey has active stories that I haven't seen. Cool, huh? If I click on it, it'll say view story. And then I can go view her story. Okay. Oh, I loved that. I stole that today from somebody else. Okay. So if I go to let me think, who did I actually look at their stories today? I looked at somebody I was looking at today. Can't remember who it was, but let me go to
You could go to me because I don't have a story,
okay, I'll show you that.
maybe.
You should have a story, Loretta. We'll
I
work on it.
know. I'm working.
Okay, so if I go to that, Loretta's is white. Now the green dot means she's currently active, but the white means no story. Now sometimes you'll see a gray. It may be gray now if I go back. No, I didn't look at all Casey's stories yet. What in the world? Oh, that's a good story. Okay, so maybe now if I go to Casey, she might look. Yep, see, she's gray now because I've seen all her stories. Isn't that cool? If you didn't know that, isn't that awesome? So like when I do what Victoria was saying and I go to somebody's page to drip on them, I always try to remember to look to see, do they have a blue circle or a gray circle? If they have a blue circle, then I always, I comment on their page, but then I also go and look at their stories. Now, if you're on a phone, I think it still shows you the color, but if you click on it, it just goes straight to the story. You don't have to click view story. So anyway, I'm going to end our recording because we have talked long enough. How do I do that? Oh, there we go.